What was Union like 30 years ago?
Like any other small town, hustle bustle, people working, trying to, going to and fro and trying to make a living, and just about everybody in town uh, know each other. You know somebody that know this person and that person. Just a small town, small southern town.
Tight community?
Tight community. If anybody call a name, a nickname, you would know about who that person was and what they looked like. What really struck me when they said that she had said a black man had taken her kids, and next thing you know, police were going to houses late at night, early in the morning, or whenever, because the description that she gave could have fit a lot of people. And I knew a guy, one of the guys, that the description they kind of got him up and out of the bed or what have you, and because he fit the description, but it wasn't him. And I don't think, personally, I don't think any black guy would have taken the kids like she said they did, and especially leave them in a car and drive the car off into a lake or something like that. No, not hardly.
Did that kind of cause a divide in the community at all? Or?
It did, and a lot of people run from that part of it, because especially after they found out, after they got a confession from her. I had people, just people that worked in plants and stuff like that. Somebody in the, one story was a guy in the plant said, well, when they catch whoever it is, they need to take him and hang him up at the courthouse. Hang him at the courthouse. And people were out looking for the kids, horseback riders, anybody, people just looking for the kids and stuff like that. And when she confessed that, to what she had did, it left a bad taste in people's mouths, because especially some of the people that they just kind of jostle out of bed or whatever during that particular time, and just a simple apology to the community would have gone a long way. But we're a solid community. It didn't. It when they found out that there wasn't a black man involved, the temperature kind of came down, and then it just kind of, vanished on its own. I don't know, but a lot of situations with African American people, that one term that I've always heard it, oh, they'll get over it. See, and that's no way to leave a situation like that. Yeah, they'll get over it and just let it be. It's not right.
Did the town maybe not handle it so great back then because they just didn't want to talk about it?
I think the town handled it great, better than any other town would have handled it, because, it really could have got out of control. Could have been a race thing, but, deep down inside, most black people know that it wasn't a black person that would probably do something like that, because, the people that they were hounding, we know them. I knew one or two of the guys, and everybody else knew them, and they knew what kind of person they was. So they wouldn't have done something like that. But like I said, a little, just to say, we're sorry that we had to do what we had to do to try to find those kids, and just an apology would have helped.
Was there ever an apology to the black community?
Not to my knowledge. And I don't think the white community as a whole, needed to apologize. I think the apology should have came from, like, maybe law enforcement from that area. It would have gone a long way.
I mean, you said you had friends that were kind of rousted in the middle of the night. Mm-hmm. Like, do they still talk about it today?
Well, one guy, I think he passed during COVID. And I've known the guy for years, knew his family. No, he wouldn't have done anything like that. He had kids of his own, and I've never known anybody of African American descent to do anything like that. It may have happened somewhere, but I've never read anywhere or heard anywhere that something like that happened.
Yeah. Do you think the anniversaries are tough for a town like Union or Union County because it gets brought up again.
It
10
is.
years,
It
20
is.
years, 25. Here we
yeah.
are at 30.
And I've done probably 7 or 8 of these things where, it comes up, but it's a part of what's happening. Even I think it's gotten more attention than the corruption that we had with people stealing money from the town. It's gotten more play than that. Not from the people in town, but people coming in. And I guess yourself, for instance, you're a new reporter for the area, not new, brand new,
Right.
but you wasn't here during that time. And I think it's like a new story, learning all the details of what happened and all the ins and outs of how this case was solved. But we've moved on. The town has moved on, and it's a progressive little town. Anytime any organization or people need help doing anything, people don't mind volunteering and coming in and help to do whatever they would like to do. It's a great volunteer town, and I love it. I've been mayor here for 16 years, and I know a lot of people, and it's a great place to live.
Do people associate Union with Susan Smith? Is it tough to break that tie?
It was, but worse things have happened in other places. So Union just happened to hold this little spot in history as that happening here. But I've traveled all over the country, and people say, "Where you from?" I said, "Well, Union, South Carolina." I've heard of that somewhere before. I said, "Well, you probably heard it from the Susan Smith story." "Oh yeah, that's where I heard it from." But they may ask a question or two, but they just move on.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's tough for the town to kind of shed that.
Well, it happened here, and there's always going to be stories done about it. I don't run from it. I try to give an honest assessment of what was going on then and how I felt personally. But it happened here, and it's written in the books.
Is it important to talk about it? What happened, and how do we learn from it even?
Yeah, one major thing to learn is, if from that story alone, if I was working in law enforcement, I would take that as a lesson. I mean, people can give you a idea how to sketch a person out that was involved, which don't necessarily have to be, the particular person that committed the crime. So you look deeper. You're always looking as you go, to find other things that may lead to something else. But a lot of times I hear on the radio people being accused of this and that, false misidentification and stuff like that. But it happens, and somebody can kind of give you a sketch of what happened, and you draw it out, and you start seeing faces then. That looked like that guy. That looked like that guy. But good law enforcement work settle all that.
Is it a lesson in not rushing to judgment?
It is. It's a big lesson in not rushing to judgment. I know that law enforcement has a job to do, and most time they do it very well. But sometimes they overlook things.